My game used to look like this, but now it looks like this. I sold my soul to make my dream game. Over the past 3 months, I've spent 15 hours a day developing my game. At this stage, I expected my game to look like this. And right now, we're not far off. I'm surprised my game's not finished yet because I have a long history of making games. I tried to combine two of my favorite games of all time, Slay the Spire and Teamfight Tactics. These are two very different games. One is a turn-based game where you try to sustain yourself through difficult encounters, and one is an auto-battler where you play against other players competing to make the strongest team. If you're unfamiliar with auto-battlers, they're like chess. Accept the pieces of attitude problems and do what they want. In my game, they fight questionable monsters and have their own inventories. And roguelikes always have good replayability, so I'm gonna need 3 things to make that happen. More items, more units, and more enemies. My game needs something greater than basic enemies, so let's add 3 more. Just like my ex, this guy sucks all the money from your wallet, and then when you have none left, he starts dealing physical damage. This guy blows up when he gets close to you. Right now, he also inflicts damage to the player behind the screen. I'll slow down his flash rate later for all you out there with epilepsy. This is my first enemy that inflicts a form of status effect. He throws these projectiles that cover tiles, and then units that stand on those tiles accumulate poison damage. While making this game, I realized I could make my dreams come true. During my childhood, my birth givers didn't really let me have a pet. This is my chance to finally make that happen. Meet Buzu. He's here for vibes because he struggles to kill anything. This is intentional because I'm going to add the chance to make him stronger by choosing to take Buzu buddies from the reward chests. These Buzu buddies only give stats to Buzu and might have cool interactions with the multiplier tiles. After you win a fight, you can choose your own path, and you might be wondering where these mysterious rooms take you. These ambiguous rooms are supposed to be fun and interactive events that shape your journey towards Astra. These events could include mini-games, interactions with strangers, unique combat encounters, and free treasure. I wanted to start off by adding a mini-game, because if the player hates my game, at least they can enjoy the mini-game. Kinda like that arcade machine in Stardew Valley. I set myself a set of rules when making my mini-game. The game can't rely on speed or skill, which left me with 2 things to work with: luck and memory. For my first minigame, I made a board where you can roll between 4 directions. You walk over tiles to claim loot or fall into traps which strip you of your goods. Yeah, I need to fix that. For my second minigame, I added a board that shows 2 points with a path connecting them. You need to correctly memorize and reproduce the path. You get rewarded based on the number of tiles you guessed correctly. I wanted to further improve the aesthetics of my game, so I added cell shading. This was kind of a band-aid solution, and even then it looked worse in a lot of aspects. After debugging 3,000 lines of code, I made a big alteration in gameplay, and for the first time I wasn't sure if this change was good or bad. Since my game is an auto-battler, it's limited on how many decisions my player can make. Yes, my player. You're not allowed to leave until you try this game, which you can wishlist now. If we hit 400,000 wishlists in the next 24 hours, I'll hide a Bitcoin somewhere in the game. Back to my big change. I added targeting arrows so you can pick which enemies stole your lunch money and focus them when combat starts. The target remains active until killed. It's then followed by the proximity-based detection system I flawlessly implemented. Was this a pointless feature? I don't know. But then I realized I can just make it not pointless by adding monsters that utilize this, such as enemies that could get stronger the more they're attacked. Things were going great and I felt proud. Little did I know along the way I did something I would later go on to regret. I'm making my game in GDScript, which is an object-oriented programming language. After you add an object to your game, you can assign that object a script which tells it what to do. Stuff like attack, run, pick up items. The question is, where do you put the script that controls character movement? Is that script supposed to be attached to the unit, the board, the tiles? I had no idea because I lied on my CV. Due to my profound stupidity, I have a script called Unit which is currently 3,000 lines long. Just like myself, this script does a lot of heavy lifting. I did some research and some forums said that scripts should be 1,000 lines in the most extreme scenarios, not just for organizational purposes but performance too. So I spent an entire day just picking apart this one script and breaking it up into categories. With so many items, trinkets and enemies, I feel like my game could get a little confusing. So I added a dictionary called the Codex. You can view what everything in the game does and potentially theory craft combinations. If I'm gonna have 25 playable units, this grid would never work. So I revamped my character select once more. This also lets you see what you're getting from each unit. We need more fun items as well, so I added a scaling item called the Soul Blade. This evolves for every 500 damage the holder deals. I also added an item called Rally, which is an umbrella that deflects all projectiles. Unfortunately, my YouTube journey on this game is coming to an end. Not because I don't enjoy making these videos, but because right now I don't have the time to edit my videos and work on my game simultaneously. With that being said, I might be able to squeeze out some future game updates occasionally, but right now it takes me 5 days in the week to edit these videos, and that leaves me only 2 days to work on my game. I think we can find a middle ground. If we reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll make these videos full time and work my ass off to make games alongside it. For now, let's keep the ball rolling, and let's add another unit. Meet Rolo. Not that Rolo, this Rolo. He starts with a 100 shield and a global taunt. While his shield is active, he charges his abilities and gets stronger based on how long he's had to charge. His matrix starts with the circuit board. You can find chips to level up his board. This unlocks updates for Rolo's software. Right now his animations aren't really aligned with his attack, and he nonchalantly walks to the next level. Playing this game felt a bit lonely, so I'm making it multiplayer. Okay, that's too ambitious, but maybe in the future I could consider a co-op mode, to let players work together to take down harder monsters. Time to address all the allegations. No, my game isn't balanced. I wanted to deal with all the balancing at the end, but then I realized I'm a massive procrastinator and I'll just end up pushing it back further and further. I haven't done much research on how to successfully balance a game, but I had a rough idea on where to start. I need to calculate what each stat is worth. So let's say my unit has 5 attack damage and 5 magic power. In this scenario, 5 attack has a power value of 50 and 5 magic power has a power value of 75. If my unit is fighting an enemy with 200 HP and 10 attack, assuming 200 HP has a power value of 25, this fight should be even. Once you find the appropriate power values for all your stats, adding a new monster, item or unit should just be a mathematical equation. I think these are all the changes we're going to have time for today. If you've made it this far into the video, I appreciate you as always. I'd love to hear more suggestions in the comments, so please let me know and I'll do my best to make it happen. Like the video if you want to try the game once it's released. I love you all. I've been Arya. Good night.